Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And here I have a great article for you guys from Mike over at Light Reading. I'll leave a link to it in the description so you guys could check it out. So, T-Mobile is still the fastest 5G provider in the US. So let's break this down. This is per OpenSignal. T-Mobile's download speeds are 2.5 times faster than AT&T's and around 3 times faster than Verizon's, according to new findings from network monitoring company OpenSignal. So that's the overall network. That includes 4G and 5G. So I got to point that out. According to the latest findings from OpenSignal, AT&T and Verizon haven't been able to catch up to T-Mobile's leadership position in 5G speeds. AT&T and Verizon continue to add C-band spectrum holdings to their respective networks, but that hasn't yet put them within striking distance of T-Mobile's speed. Both companies have spent billions of dollars on C-band spectrum in their efforts to match T-Mobile's mid-band spectrum holdings. Now, that would lead one to believe like, oh, T-Mobile has the speed lead, it's over, it's done. But let's continue. So let's get into the actual reporting, right? According to OpenSignal's latest figures, T-Mobile's network download speed reached 113.1 megabits per second. That's overall between 4G and 5G. The firm said T-Mobile increased its winning margins over AT&T and Verizon by 16.1 megabits per second. Speeds over for AT&T and Verizon during the same period increased by 5.5 megabits per second and 3.9 megabits per second, respectively. So here's where it gets a bit interesting. In terms of 5G specifically, OpenSignal said T-Mobile hit 200 megabits milestone for the first time. However, AT&T and Verizon have whittled away at T-Mobile's lead in 5G download speeds due to boosts in their scores of 43.5 megabits, 54.4%, and 39 megabits at 40.5%, the firm wrote. So again, they're chipping away. They are chipping away. Like I said, that would happen. It would just naturally happen. Now, overall, Verizon and AT&T still have scaling to do when it comes to, especially Verizon, when it comes to modernizing just even the LTE network. Never mind C-band, they still have to get their band 66 to certain sites, band 2 where they own it. They still have to upgrade those towers as they go through this big, massive modernization process with its tower sites. So that will continue to gradually scale. So T-Mobile's speed on 5G was like 202 megabits, if I remember correctly. AT&T was at 122 megabits per second, and Verizon is like at 135 megabits per second. So from a just pure statistics perspective, T-Mobile still has the lead. That's what the numbers show from OpenSignal. But the difference from a consumer day-to-day usage perspective, the difference from 202 to 135 is not a big deal. You can still stream content the same on either connection, either speed. So that gap, from that perspective, it's really closing. You know, when T-Mobile used to be in the 150s and Verizon was like in the low 50s, 60s, that I would consider like a big difference. But from 135 to 202, there's not much more that you can do with the 202 versus the 135. And Verizon this year will get closer to the 200 megabit per second mark. They're showing it now, and looking at all of the collective testing firms, looking at OpenSignal, they will release their Q4 findings as well soon. Verizon is blowing past T-Mobile in the big markets like Miami, El Paso, midsize, New York, those markets now where they have the C-band scale, they're blowing past T-Mobile in the speed lead, and which that's fine. Like I said, that's not going to derail T-Mobile's success at all. But for now, T-Mobile still has that scale advantage. For those of you who watched the video yesterday about the FCC report, T-Mobile now covers 60.5% of the rural population with mid-band. Verizon is nowhere near that today. But by the end of this year, they will be closer to that. And then in 2025, they will likely be right around the same pop number when it comes to percentages. I don't think Verizon will ever release that statistics. The only reason T-Mobile's releasing that statistic is because they have to report back to the FCC because of the merger commitments. But in 2025, I see Verizon and T-Mobile being right around the same when it comes to mid-band pops covered in rural. I see that being the same. And it's good for competition. But for now, right, let's call it what it is. Opensignal, T-Mobile still the fastest on overall network and 5G. We'll see what happens in 2024. But eventually, T-Mobile will be dethroned as Verizon continues to gain scale on its C-band. So make sure you guys stay tuned for more. Like, share, subscribe, follow my social media outlets. This is Tyrone with Tech Live. See y'all in the next one. Peace.